Which I guess that was a beautiful thing, because had that not happened, I still probably would be doing stuff for free. And I don't think you should be. I think everybody should be divinely compensated for everything it is that they do. It's your girl Carissa, and I am back with another video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and all of that good stuff. And without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into the tea. I haven't been on YouTube in so long, but I have started this little series, I guess, on TikTok, and it's called The Mistakes That I've Made as a Boutique Owner. So I feel like it's only fair for me to come in and share that knowledge with you guys as well, but I also wanted to make it a little bit more in depth on YouTube. So let's go ahead on and get into it. Now, the first mistake that I've made as a new boutique owner was not putting God in my business plans. And I know that that may seem like it's just a given, but I personally was not including God in the plans that I had for my business. So of course I prayed over my business. I prayed that I would have massive success. I prayed that my customers love the products. I prayed to be sold out. Like, I prayed all of the, what do you call it, just like minimalistic type prayers, right? And excuse me, but I'm washing clothes, and that's my dryer going off right now. So if it's a little loud in here, that's why. But anyway, so when I say include God in the business plans, you need to really ask God for strategy on how to move in your business. What works for one person may not work for you. And that's pretty much the reasons why you can see two people take the exact same class or have the exact same coach but have different results. And that's strictly because God isn't in whatever it is that they're trying to do. Even for me personally, I prayed before I even got a business coach or a business mentor, because I wanted to make sure that I was being divinely guided to the perfect person for me, the person that I resonated with the most, the person who could help me, motivate me, and have the best results from the investment that I was making. So, like I said on TikTok, I want you guys to make sure that you're praying the perfect prayer for your business and ask to be divinely guided. So once I stop praying prayers like, oh God, help me be sold out, help me have massive success in my business, and I start asking God for specific strategies on specific things, like help me to increase my sales skills, help me to increase my marketing skills, show me how to properly market, show me things that I may not see that my customers are needing, show me these things, make it plain to me of what I should be doing. Once I started to do prayers like that, I began to meditate. I would sit in silence and wait for God to give me the answer before trying to execute anything, because it's so much fluff on this here internet. It's so many people telling you to do so many different things, and we don't know if the information is regurgitated. We don't know. We just don't even know if these numbers are real, because at the end of the day, some of these screenshots don't even have the person's business on it. But I digress. Okay. Now, for me personally, I would just pray about everything in my business. Before I bust a move, I will pray to God about it. I will pray before I would have an interaction with someone. I will pray to find the right vendors. I will pray to have long-lasting relationships with my vendors and, networking with different people. I will pray about that. I will pray that God would put me in the right place at the right time as it relates to my business. You know what I mean? So that was the first mistake that I made when starting my boutique, was that I did not include God in my business plans. So all in all, I think that it's very important to have an amazing relationship with God as it relates to your business, because true indeed, we can do nothing without God. Even the self-help books that we read, pretty much all of them has a background of connecting with your spirituality, connecting with higher source, connecting with the universe, connecting with God, something like that. So I just highly suggest that you develop a great relationship with God and include God in your business plans, and things will begin to look up for you. And that's that on that. Now, moving on to part 2. So for part 2, I mentioned that I left my 9 to 5 too quickly. that was one of the mistakes that I made. And although everyone knows how that worked out for me, but if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't leave my 9 to 5, not as quick as I did. And that was strictly just because I feel like some of the things that I faced as a full-blown entrepreneur could have been a lot easier had I still had my 9 to 5. So I started coaching almost out of necessity. So there was times where I had invested everything into inventory, and then bills was coming up. You get what I'm saying? And so at that time, people were asking me to teach them things, to coach them on things, and I would just coach them for free. But once money was getting a little low, I was like, yeah, I need to start charging for this, which I guess that was a beautiful thing, because had that not happened, I still probably would be doing stuff for free. And I don't think I think everybody should be divinely compensated for everything it is that they do. But I wouldn't have left my 9 to 5 as quick as I did, strictly because the 9 to 5 was way more than what I needed to just take care of me, but also take care of my business needs, and which was allowing me to do pop-up shops. It was helping me scale and buy more inventory, invest in ads, the little bit of ads that I was investing in, paying, people to shout out my business, or just paying for promo and things like that. So, or paying business taxes or something like that, when I really didn't understand that Shopify was giving me the business taxes and the shipping money and the money for the product. Child, I didn't know at first, okay? But it helped me. Like a 9 to 5 can help you scale. A 9 to 5 will give you that working capital that you need. My 9 to 5 was paying for my assistant, my very first assistant that I ever hired. I was paying her out of my salary. I was paying her, I think, like $12 an hour. She worked like 20 something hours a week for me. So once I quit my 9 to 5, I let her go too, because I was like, well, the work that she's doing for me, I can just do it myself, and I don't have to pay that extra money. But also, as most of you know, when I quit my 9 to 5, I immediately started living by coastal. So I decreased my income, but increased my expenses, right? So looking back, I don't regret nothing. But looking back, I would have been a little bit more smarter. And then not only that, I would have leveraged my 9 to 5 so much more as it relates to just saving more money, getting more product. Like, I would have just done things differently. But at the time, I just felt like I didn't have an option, because everyone was preaching, oh, you can't be an entrepreneur and work a job. If you want to make your business successful, you need to leave your 9 to 5. And so that's honestly why I was in a rush to leave my 9 to 5, because I felt like I couldn't do both, because the experts said we couldn't do both. I'm here to tell you, you definitely can do both, because my highest, so those $10,000 months that I was hitting them, the first few, I was hitting them while I was still working my 9 to 5. Then I started hitting them again like 2 months after I left my 9 to 5. And so I was still kind of putting in the same amount of work, just a little bit differently. So, you know what I mean? Like, I was I was going out and doing my own marketing versus paying people on social media to do promos for me or to run ads or something like that. I was taking my time during the day to go out and market for my business. So I was going to nail salons, happy hours, tea houses, coffee houses. I was going everywhere marketing my business. I was going to the mall. I was going everywhere marketing my business during the day. And then at night, I will come home and do the same thing that I was doing, which was shooting inventory, packaging orders, creating my post to post online and things like that. So I wouldn't have left my 9 to 5 as quick as I did. I would have gotten a little bit more experience as an entrepreneur under my belt, and I would have learned a little bit more about being a full-blown entrepreneur as it relates to like mindset and just being resourceful and how to face different challenges, how to have your business expenses in order, how to properly save for the business and not just spend everything we have, because that's another thing the expert said. Every time I made money, I just put it back into the business. So I was doing the same thing. And that's why we got to be careful who we paying attention to, because we don't know what else they have going on to bring in income. So I would have just taken my time to leave my 9 to 5. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.